بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as He ought to be praised. We thank Him subhanahu wa ta'ala for the bounty of Islam and for this bounty of the month of Ramadan, that He subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us to reach the month of Ramadan to start with, and He allowed us to reach the last 10 nights. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you and I to do the deeds that are pleasing to Him. May He subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you and I. Before I resume what I started yesterday in hadith number 7, Ryaad Assalihin, I'd like to remind myself and my brothers and sisters of 5 things, inshallah ta'ala. Number 1, it's not a secret anymore, the fact that subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made music something forbidden. Allah ta'ala harrama al-ghina min fawqi sab'i samawat. And I'm not going to spend the time bringing the proofs, but the proofs are many from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So music is haram. Now, if you, one of us or anybody happens to be someone who's afflicted with this problem of still listening to music, at least let that person keep this out of the masjid, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are afflicted with still listening to music which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made forbidden, don't put it on your phone and bring it to the masjid, and so other people will hear it and you get the sin for them as well. Especially when people are praying. With the incident of the phone today, I don't know whose phone it is, and I'm not giving that person a hard time, but I'm speaking in general. Music is something haram. We don't bring haram to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we're afflicted with this, we just leave it in our homes, in our cars. And if your phone has that, turn it off. At least make it silent, leave it in the car, so that people are not exposed to it. And subhanAllah, we saw that the Shaykh was struggling today. SubhanAllah, and he would put some of the ayat because of what he was hearing in the background. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. We all have shortcomings and flaws, but let's not add to the problem by exposing other people to it. This is number 1. Number 2, at the very beginning of Ramadan, the first week, I reminded myself and my brothers and sisters about the ta'meen after the Imam. Yarhamukallah. And subhanAllah, if the hadith is not enticing enough for us, I don't know what would be. And that's made it clear. I said, brothers, the Prophet ﷺ told us about the adab, the etiquette of the ta'meen after the Imam. And he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that the malaika, they say their ta'meen right after the Imam. فَمَنْ وَافَقَ تَأْمِينُهُ تَأْمِينُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنبِهِ. ألا تحبون أن يغفر لكم? Don't you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you? He said, if your ta'meen coincides with the ta'meen of al-malaika, the angels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive all of your previous sins. Is that incentive enough for all of us? All of us that subhanAllah will spend our days incurring sins by the hundreds and the thousands. We don't want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us. It's not that much effort. Just be a little more patient for a few split seconds until the Imam starts his ta'meen, says, you hear the Hamza, and you say your Ameen. If you coincide, because that's when the Malaika say Ameen. If you coincide with the ta'meen of the Malaika, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive all of your sins. It's a no-brainer. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's a great deal. Don't have to do much. Just be patient for 3 more seconds and stay alert, so you don't just say Ameen, because it's human nature. We're programmed, it comes out automatically, and we just miss the mark every time. Well, let's work hard not to miss the mark. Let's work hard to coincide with the ta'meen of al-malaika. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us. We get many opportunities a day. Let's not waste them. We get a lot more opportunities in the month of Ramadan. Let's try not to miss them, inshallah ta'ala. That's the one. That's my second point. The third point. As alhamdulillah, this is the last 10 of Ramadan. May Allah ta'ala help us coincide with Laylatul Qadr. And the more we want to, the best way to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with his worship subhanahu wa ta'ala, is by doing so according to the way of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And there's something that people do mostly out of tradition. And that's after the dua, after that the Imam does the dua, they go like this and they start wiping. They start wiping their bodies and their faces. Where did you get that from? There are a couple of hadith that speak about wiping the face, but the Jumhur al-Ulama ضعفوا هذه الأحاديث. They made these hadith are ضعيف. But there is nothing out there, not even ضعيف or موضوع, nothing that speaks about wiping the chest and the rest of the body. And normally, the way that you're supposed to do it, he says, وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ وَصَحْبِهِ أَجْمَعِينَ. Just drop your hands. Don't wipe anything. What you should be wiping is before you sleep at night. The Prophet ﷺ said, do ruqyah to yourself. That means you go with your hand like this, and you recite أعوذ برب قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. 3 times, not spit with saliva, just with air. تنفث في يديك, and you wipe over the majority of the places of your body that you can reach. And you do so 3 times. But wiping after the dua, that's not from the way of Muhammad. Wiping after the salah, some people say, they start wiping and doing things. If you have proof, bring it forth. We'll discuss it inshallah. But there's nothing in the sunnah of the Prophet that suggests that we should do that. So that's number 3. Number 4, another thing that we get from our traditions, and especially after the salah of al-fard, al-faridah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum, then we start shaking. Taqabbal Allah, haraman, subhanallah. Where do we get that from? There's nothing in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. This is purely tradition that we got from back home. Subhanallah, something that people created. There's nothing in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ said that بعد التسليم فليلتفت أحدكم إلى عن يمينه وعن شماله ويسلم ويدعو بالقبول. There's nothing like that. What you should be doing is seeking Allah's forgiveness for the salah that you just did, in which you most of it you didn't have any khushu'. It is the reality. SubhanAllah. It's very hard to have khushu' in the time and place of fitna that we live in. So that's what we say, astaghfirullah, because that's not much of a salah that we actually offered to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we say astaghfirullah, and you start doing your adhkar. Don't look at the person next to you. Focus on doing the adhkar. And then after you finish, then you can shake hands. But there's nothing that says you should say, taqabbal, not from the sunnah of the Prophet. We want to protect our acts of worship by surrounding them with the sunnah of the Prophet, not by surrounding them with the bid'ah. And by the way, going back to that point about the music, what we were hearing earlier is probably an alarm. And when most of us have an alarm, we set an alarm so we can wake up for what? For Fajr. So we set up an alarm that has music to wake us up for Fajr. And look at the irony. We start our day, the first thing that we hear, أول ما يقرع أسماعنا هو ما يغضب الله تبارك وتعالى. It makes no sense. So put an alarm, something that beeps, something that's annoying, that will wake you up, but don't put music, subhanAllah. Now, we're done with the shaking and saying taqabbal. One last point, ya ikhwa. The houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were made for many purposes. One of which, and the most important, is for us to come and do the prayer. But also, the houses of Allah are made so that Islam is represented, so that more people are called to this religion. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس لماذا؟ تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. وهذا مقام كما قال أهل العلم مقام الدعوة. لذلك قدم الله تبارك وتعالى العمل الصالح على الإيمان. والأصل أن يقدم الإيمان على العمل الصالح. Normally Allah Ta'ala always speaks about faith, belief first, before He speaks about the righteous deeds. In this particular ayah, Allah Ta'ala gave advantage to the good deeds over Iman, because this is the maqam da'wah. This is a place for da'wah. You were the best of nations brought out to mankind. Why? Because you're enjoining good and you forbid evil and you believe in Allah. Now what is the worst, what is the best good that you could present to someone? What is it? It's a question for what is the best good that we can offer people?
God.
The Tawheed. The Tawheed. And subhanAllah, there will be a day that people will need the Tawheed in the worst way, but they will have no access to it. And subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hijr, رُبَمَا يَوَدُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْ كَانُوا مُسْلِمِينَ. This ayah, it talks about a particular incident that takes place after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judges between His creation. And the people of the Al-Jannah are in Al-Jannah, people of the Hellfire are in the Hellfire. And then the people of the Hellfire, they will be kuffar, mushrikun, people of kufr, people of shirk, and there will be the people of Tawheed that lived upon the kabair, the transgressions, the sins, and did not repent from them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts them in Jahannam for a particular period of time to pay their debt. They will find themselves in the same place with the kuffar and mushrikeen. So the kuffar will start telling them, you deprived yourselves of certain things when you were in the life of the world. You fasted, you did salah sometimes, you did this and you did that. Much good did that do you? You're here with us. You're here with us in Jahannam. فيقول الله عز وجل يا جبريل أخرج من النار كل من قال لا إله إلا الله. Jibreel, go ahead and extract from the hellfire every single one that said La ilaha illallah. So a person that says La ilaha illallah from his heart and died upon it not having done one good deed. One good deed. SubhanAllah. And that, you see, if he refers to the hadith of Hudayf ibn al-Yaman that talks about the Quran being lifted in one night. That Islam will disappear and Quran will be lifted in one night. You open the Mus'haf, there is nothing. There is no one on the face of the earth that knows one letter from the Quran. Not even Yasin, not even Sad, not even Alif Lam Mim, all of it gone. Subhanallah. And people will have they will know how to do salah, or zakat, or nusuk, nothing. No rituals, none whatsoever. And some of the old folks from those particular people, they will say, we know La ilaha illallah. أدركنا آباءنا يقولون ذلك ونحن نقول. We found our parents saying La ilaha illallah, we say it. That's all they know. Subhanallah. The tabi'i that was listening to Hudayfa, surprised, he said, what is La ilaha illallah going to do for them? They don't know, they haven't done any salah, there's nusuk. And Hudayfa kept turning away from him, didn't want to answer him. Until he asked him 3 times. فَقَالَ تُنْجِيهِمْ مِنَ النَّارِ تُنْجِيهِمْ مِنَ النَّارِ تُنْجِيهِمْ مِنَ النَّارِ. He will cause them to be saved from the hellfire. Sooner or later. Maybe at the beginning, maybe at the Allah Ta'ala. Sooner or later they will be saved from the hellfire because they said La ilaha illallah. So, this is one of the functions of the masjid, that we have to make it our priority to call out as many people to La ilaha illallah as we possibly can. Now, subhanAllah, I want to just allude to one thing that we started doing and that took place yesterday and today. We go out there and we do our suhoor, which is a beautiful thing. The Prophet ﷺ told us to do suhoor because all of it is barakah. But we tend to forget that we have neighbors in this masjid from both sides, on this side and on the other side. Now, besides the fact that our loud voices, whether it's our kids or our women or all of us, we just get comfortable, we get carried away, could cause a problem to the masjid. Allah Ta'ala knows, because anybody can complain from either side, because we were loud enough. But the most important, ya ikhwan, is what are those people thinking? If they're startled at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, they're startled, and they're woken up, disturbed. Oh, it's the Muslims. It's the Muslims. It does not look good. So we have to keep that in mind. The Prophet ﷺ told us about that Jibreel alayhi salam kept telling him, advising him about the way he should treat the neighbor, until he said, until I thought he was gonna make him one of my heirs, that he's gonna inherit me. Let alone, this is the neighbor of your own house, let alone the neighbor of in the masjid. So we have to keep that in mind there. When we go out there, we have to be aware of the fact that we have, and nobody complained to me, by the way. I just want to remind myself and all of us that this is not good da'wah. They have to see a behavior of excellence from us. They have to see a mannerism that will push them to come and ask and inquire, why are you people so good? Why are you so polite? Why do you adhere to such a high standard of mannerism? And it opens the door for a da'wah. We say, this is the mannerism of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if we're doing the opposite, and we're loud, and we wake people up, and we're only thinking about our own selves and our own situation, then subhanAllah, it makes the da'wah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a little more difficult, and it should be one of our priorities. I just wanted to mention these 5 points. SubhanAllah, they took up the whole time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I means for many people to accept Islam. As the Prophet ﷺ told Ali radiallahu anhu, خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمْرِ النَّعَمِ, that Allah Ta'ala will guide someone because of your efforts to Islam is better for you than the red camels, or a whole herd of red camels. And a herd of red camels in the time of the Prophet ﷺ is a fortune. وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَمَا فِيهَا, it is better for you than the life of this world and what it contains. So keep that in mind, inshaAllah ta'ala, that a little effort from us for other people to be guided to Islam is better than, subhanAllah, all of the life of this world that it contains, and it's something that we should strive for. Each one of us should strive for at least being the reason for the guidance of at least one person, subhanAllah. And it's not difficult with a little effort, but it takes mannerism inside the masjid, outside the masjid, in school, in the place of work, and so on and so forth. We personify the mannerism of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I from the ones that when they hear the speech they follow the midst of it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خير.